Hi there, this is Dr. Matthew Korn, 65 Plus Center for Active Aging, here with your daily dose. It's Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. And I just kind of want to give you an up to date um, perspective for the active aging community. Let's see where we're going to start. It was a nice, beautiful day today. Personally, helped my kids with homework and went for a nice long bike ride. And even took a nap. So hopefully you guys are finding a way to exercise, maybe get some good sleep. As you know, insomnia and sleep disorders are pretty common with older adults. So there's not a whole lot of research as to why, but we know that circadian rhythms are interrupted. And I think napping is a natural consequence of those interrupted circadian rhythms. But either way, sleep is sleep. So if you catch up on that, that's great. That's what I did. I feel really great, which is why I'm streaming toward the end of the day. And I feel like I have a little bit more energy. I don't get to nap very often. Let's get the grim stuff out of the way. In Sarasota County here, we have 297 cases of COVID-19 and 30 deaths. 27,800 plus cases in Florida. But we are seeing a slight downward trend, at least in the county, over the last 5 days. It can fluctuate, obviously, but if we can hold that for 14 days, that's a really, really good sign. In other news, there are a number of facilities that have had deaths. Talking about rehab facilities and uh, nursing homes and things like that. Looking at the list here in Sarasota County, there's about a dozen. There's only one I noticed that is in Venice, and that's the Bay Breeze Health and Rehab Center. Please keep in mind the rehab centers often take the sickest of the sick who um, oftentimes aren't stable to begin with. And for better or for worse, they're not in the hospital. So it's not surprising. What would be more surprising to me if I saw deaths from, say, assisted living facilities or continuing care facilities, and I don't really see any that I recognize. That information is all public. You can get that from various sources on the internet. Let's see what else is going on. Governor DeSantis is trying to discuss with business leaders how to reopen the state safely. I know they're supposed to come up with something by either this Friday or maybe as late as Monday. Um, so we'll have to see what they say about that. I think I mentioned it yesterday that school is out for the rest of the year in terms of on campus, so that should be helpful. I did my first takeout food tonight with the kids. We just did a quick, um, like a burger joint type of thing, and I just ran in and grabbed it and wore a mask, and they were wearing masks, and I thought it was very appropriate. If you like a good burger, I recommend Brew Burgers. It's right on the island. Anything else to share with you news wise? Looks like Sharky's has gone mobile. If you like Sharky's, the restaurant, looks like they have a mobile truck for food as well now. Don't know exactly where to get it, but maybe at their parking lot down by Brohard Beach. So that's something you can look at if you like Sharky's. I like more of the view than Sharky's itself, but that's, personal choice. And something else interesting that I learned, that apparently there's some really old law dating back to 1951 that says that you can't wear a mask in public. I think that was to deter crime back in the day. So I don't know. Obviously, they're not going to enforce that, but a little ironic that you're not supposed to wear a mask by Florida law. A little more about what I'm working on here. We are shooting for a phase reopening plan. I think I mentioned that in yesterday's daily dose. I had spent a good chunk of the working on the particulars of what that would look like. I want to get feedback from my advisory board, which includes some physicians, as well as compliance with federal and state guidelines. And hopefully we can start helping patients one-on-one in person into the facility, taking a lot of precautions into account and excluding any patients who are at high risk. Love your feedback on that as well. I did do a survey earlier in the month, and it seems like most people were pretty open to coming back as long as certain precautions were in place. So that would be an excellent opportunity for us to re-engage in again, a phased manner. That pretty much wraps up my daily dose. As you know, daily dose is about a 5-minute video cast on Monday through Thursday, followed by a longer um, video cast on Friday that we call the weekly rounds. And then my newsletter gets pumped out on Saturdays via email. So if you're interested in any of those things, you'll want to either click or subscribe on this channel. I do have 2 other channels that are linked here on this site. We have a virtual physical therapy and a virtual medical exercise program. You can have access to that on our website as well, but you have to join as a member. That's free service. You just click in the top right-hand corner of my website and say join member, put in a username and password, and then it gives you access to content that the general public doesn't have. Okay, be well, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow for another Daily Dose.